Love belongs to the strong. In the first lecture, you said that only a very strong soul can love, no matter what. How can this be explained in terms of the proto-foundations? This is a good question, a difficult one. Let's try to answer it. Look, in the natural course of development, we move from the center of the inner circle to the edge, to the first outer circle. You already know how complex and difficult the transition from the inner third circle to the second circle is. You do not yet know how hard the transition from the middle circle to the outer circle is, because very few have been there, at least among those alive today. But among those alive today, we are all trying to make the transition from the inner circle of life to the second circle, which is connected to the proto-foundations, good and evil, tradition and freedom. And many of us are succeeding. You know how hard this transition is. You know the sacrifices it requires. Everything has to be left behind in the human world. The proto-foundation love, filled with the knowledge of acceptance, is different from the feeling of love, but of course it is akin to it. Love is acceptance. A strong soul, once it has become whole and complete, and I remind you, wholeness can only be achieved on the second circle, no longer needs to return, to tear itself apart, to become incomplete again. It is free from that. It has already walked that path. That's it. The game is over. It is waiting to move to another level. And yet, it chooses to return, because the one it loves is still there, incomplete, needing help to become whole. And so a strong soul comes back to help. This is the strength I spoke of, the strength to return, simply because someone you love more than your own experience remains behind. And only a truly strong soul can do that. I don't know how else to explain it, but I think you will understand me, colleague, the one who asked this question. A soul does not have to do this. A soul does not have to return, and yet it chooses to. We are not talking about some kind of benefit. We are not talking about a human being, because at this point, it is no longer a human being. We are talking about consciousness. And by doing something like this, perhaps such a consciousness can receive something from this world, from our reality, that no other human being, no other mage walking this path can receive. Perhaps the world will reveal something to such a consciousness that it does not reveal to anyone else. Perhaps. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I have met very few such people, very few mages and not mages, very few people and not people. To renounce magic simply because someone you love is left behind is a truly significant act. And such love cannot be understood by those who have never felt it. So I probably won't discuss it and speculate on what kind of love it is and what benefits it might bring. I have explained the mechanism behind it. As for judging such an action, that is entirely up to you.